بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum and good noon everyone. I hope that you all would be doing so well. I'm here again with another class of English literature. As I have already mentioned my board and pages number, I have written here 16 to 18. We will continue our lecture. So the lesson, first of all, what you have to do, that you have to open page number 16, then page number. The lesson of this name is crossing the river. It is actually an event which is being shared by the author himself. Who is the author of this lesson? Sergei Askanov. The name of the author is Sergei Askanov. He is a Russian author. This is an autobiography. Do you know what is called autobiography? Biography is a story of any person or an event from any person's life. But auto means self. Autobiography means a person's own life event or a self-written story. So today we will study an event from the writer's own personal life, which he has shared in this book and in this lesson, whose name is Crossing the River. There are two main characters or two main things we are going to know. The first is the character which is being discussed by the author Sergei Askanov, Ivan. Ivan is a servant or is the responsible of Askanov's family servant. And the second is River Kama, which is known the one of the major rivers of Russia. I will tell you this event being Sergei Askanov. So you have to suppose me that your teacher is Sergei Askanov, who is sharing his life event. So let's start. This event took place in Russia over 200 years ago. 200 years ago, this event occurred in Russia. 200 years ago. At that time, I was only 9 years old. We all were standing at the bank of the river and we were waiting to cross the river Kama. There were no any ferryman. What is ferryman? Ferryman, a person who row the ferry boat. And what is ferry boat? Ferry boat is a boat which carries heavy vehicle or other provisions and people across the river. So I was waiting over there, and along with me there were a group of villagers, a group of my family servant, and the women who were standing over there having baskets full of berries to take to their homes. I was even taken to my home from my summer holidays, and Ivan was taking me to my home. On the either side of us there was a village for which we have to cross this river Kama. One of the villagers suggested that and said that I have been a ferryman for some years. So why not? I could take you all across the river Kama. So he decided that he would hold at the steering oar. Steering oar. What is steering oar? A steering, a wheel, or a paddle. The main wheel of the ferry boat that person was holding, and rest of the people, rest of the villagers, they hold at the rest of the oars who were supposed to row the boat. So I was over there with a group of people, with my servants and with my carriage and three horses. Many carts were over there with their drivers. It means that the ferry boat was going to be loaded enough. So that man held at the steering oar and we started our journey. First, what we have to do that we have to go against the flow of the river Kama. So we decided that we will start rowing smoothly into the river before we take a turn to go to the village. So after that, I was over there, many other people were over there. Ivan, who was in charge of my family servant, he was also present over there. He has the courage and strength of 10 men, means he was a very brave and courageous man. So he decided that he will help others to go across the river. As we have intended to cross the river, and that ferryman was helping us and other villagers were rowing the paddle to take us across the river. We saw a black cloud appeared over us, and suddenly it covered the whole sky. The whole sky was growing darker. So we know that time that we are going to be surrounded by a danger, and it is a danger that a storm or a cyclone is approaching to us. We all were terrified, but there we had no other option except rowing this boat in the river. The people who were in the boat, they were murmuring. What does murmuring means? Murmur. The verb murmured means they spoke or said in a low voice. They all said or recited prayers in a low voice because they were terrified. The women who were in the ferry boat, they started shrieking because they all have smell that some danger is hovering over us. The water surface started grew darker. The wind blew like a hurricane. Hurricane means a cyclone. And the sky and the river both had grown darker. The women started shrieking, and I myself was so terrified. The man who was rowing the ferry boat smoothly, he suddenly dropped the steering oar. And what he did that? He became so confused and showed as if he never had been a ferry boat ever in his life. He was frightened as well. I was trembling with fear that I couldn't speak a single word out of my mouth. I was soundless. Before we reached in the middle of the river, what happened? We felt a jerk and we stopped over there. Ivan, who was my family's servants in charge, he jumped out of the ferry boat, and then he brought three of my horses jump out of the ferry boat. And he took me out of the ferry boat and he told me to sit on one of the horses' back and held tightly on the horse's mane. I was so confused and I was becoming out of my conscious. I saw that Ivan jumped into the chest high water. As I have drawn picture for you here, this is chest high water, the water having land that only a person's neck or head is appear out of the water surface. Ivan jumped into the chest high water. Then what he did that he held the horse's bridle in his hand tightly. I was on the back of the horse and held the mane means the back, the hairs on the horse's back. I held them tightly, and I saw that at the time of I was so frightened. I was feeling that my life is going to finish. Ivan suddenly disappeared into the deep water. What is deep water? This is the figure I have drawn for you. This is deep water. That Ivan was totally vanished from the surface, and he was droning or swimming into the deep water, means into the great depth of the water. As I know that Ivan was a skilled swimmer, then my horse was swimming so skillfully into the water, and we were, and Ivan managed to put each and everything and managed to save many people's life in this incident. We swam, my horse and other horses and Ivan swam until we reach at the shallow water. When we reach onto the shallow water, I have drawn a figure for you here. Shallow water, this water having length where we can see or notice the sand clearly. Ivan now can stand on the sand without holding the bridle of the horse in his hand. I was out of my conscious. Ivan took me out of the horse, and then he tried me to come into the senses. When I came into my senses, I saw that nobody lost their life. Everyone was safe, and it was Ivan who managed each and everything very well and saved so many lives. That moment or event of my life, I never can forget. And that was the moment that made me so scared and made it my life's unforgettable moment and the event. I do hope that you would have understood the summary of this lesson clearly. Now, there are, look at page number 17. Page number 17, we have word pool. On page number 17, word pool would be done in your copies, and except this word pool, a list of unfamiliar words, you have to prepare yourself and you have to write meanings in the copy as well, as you have been doing in prep 1. Come on page number 18. On page number 18, we have two sections here, looking closely and comprehension. So if there are difficult terms I have put on the board, you may easily write down your answers after understanding this. This was the event from writer's life in which we noticed that we face some of the moment or even in our life which becomes unforgettable, whether they are pleasant or unpleasant. They can be scary too. So the writer faced the scary moment of his life and he shared his event of the life. We came to know that we came to know weather can be against of anyone or any time. That means this change is called catastrophic. We have studied in Prep 1, there was a whole unit catastrophic in which we experienced the fire and weather changes. Okay, so the second thing we experience the catastrophic means change of the weather. And the third thing we point means we came to know that we experience the bravery and the courage of the character of Ivan. Is that clear? You may note down you may note down whatever you want to note down, and I do hope that when you start listening to me or watching to me, you must have a pen or highlighter pencil to write or to note down on your rough copies or on your notebook.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hello, once again I'm here with another topic of English language. Today we will learn how to punctuate a sentence or text. Before I go to punctuate sentences, I will let you know what is punctuation, what actually punctuation is. Do you know that why do we punctuate sentences? We punctuate sentences to make our understanding with text. For example, if I put comma, if I give pauses, full stop, and I give my text or a sentence exclamation mark, it means I am making my text or sentence readable. That is why punctuation gives a sentence or text or make it readable or understandable. Today we are going to learn two members of punctuation family, which are comma, which is the most important part of punctuation family, and the second one would be capital letter, which we simply say capitalization. So let's come on the sentences. I have written sentences here. 6 sentences are here, and we will try to punctuate. We all will try to punctuate all together. Before I start punctuating the sentences, you must have a copy, a rough copy where you are noting down your lecture, and a pencil in your hand is a must to punctuate all the sentences which you will practice at home or you will write in your fair notebook. For punctuating sentences, you have to use blue color or any contrasting pen to highlight the punctuation marks, as I have used blue marker to let you know how we will punctuate the sentences which are given on the board. Let's start. Comma is used. Alan went to buy brushes, paint, oil and canvas. Comma is used to separate series of items or words. Alan went to buy brushes, comma, paint, comma, oil and canvases. So we have separated the item of the series of item or a list of item. Sentence number 2, Mom, I told you they won't like it. Now here, comma is used to separate or to give a small break in a sentence. Mom, I told you they won't like it. So we used comma here to give a small break in a sentence. Come on, sentence number 3, he said, I don't care. Don't you feel that it is a quotation and the speaker is present here? Do you think that I don't care? He said. So speaker and speaker's quotation is over there. So we use comma to introduce or interrupt direct quotation. Simply we can say we separate speaker from his or her, or simply we may use that from its quoted statement. He said, after speaker I am putting comma here, I don't care. Sentence number 4. That is my money. I have written the wrong spelling of money. That is my money, not yours. Now where we have to put comma in this sentence? We are having two contrasting statement or phrases within a sentence. So we will punctuate, that is my money, not yours. Are the both sentences not opposite of each other? Are they or not? They are opposite of each other. So we have separated the contrasting phrases in the sentence. This house is mine, not yours. So this house is mine. After mine, you will put comma. Sentence number 5. She meets me daily, passes a smile, tells me about her, and gets on bus. So here in the sentence we are using comma to separate phrases, series of phrases. As we have she meets me daily, comma, first phrase, passes a smile, tells me about her, and gets on bus. So we separated series of phrases in the sentence. Come on, sentence number 6. A comma is used or a comma is being used in the sentence after expressions. If I say, watch out, there is a pit, you will fall. So, watch out is an expression. Oh, I forgot. So, oh is an expression. Well, I know that. So, well is an expression and we have to put comma after an expression. Have you got it? I am erasing board right now. We have to move to another topic, which is capital letter, or we have to capitalize sentences. Okay, why do we use capitalization? Because it's a rule in grammar that we capitalize the first word of a sentence. This is a common use we all know. So in the first sentence, use blue color to highlight punctuation mark. So Use is the first word of our sentence. So we will how we will punctuate? We will make you, we will capitalize you, and it will become, the sentence will be punctuated with capitalization. In the second sentence, teacher, listen to me. Teacher is a position or a title. Okay, if I place word judge in place of teacher, so judge is also a title or a position. When we talk about any position or title, or we emphasize on it, so we make its first letter capital. Teacher, T. Sentence number 3. Dr. Smith came to check on me. As I have told you that we make titles or position first letter capital, so likewise we will punctuate this sentence. We will capitalize Dr. D. If I write Smith is a proper noun, and we know that proper nouns are capitalized, so we will make Smith's as capital. If I use Mr. or Mrs. Mr. is a title, so we will am of the Mr. and I write Miss. So Mrs. M or Mr.'s and both will be capital. Okay? So come on, sentence number 4. Martin behaves well. Martin is a proper noun, as I told you. Smith is a proper noun. So Martin M would be capitalized. In sentence number 5, I have used terms, special terms. Artificial intelligence has an edge over human intelligence. Artificial intelligence and human intelligence both are the special terms, so we will make the first letter capital. Artificial A, intelligence I, human H, and intelligence I. If I don't want to use the whole term of artificial intelligence and human intelligence, so I may use them short. I can use AI only. AI and HI. There is no problem. But we know that the terms are special. So we will capitalize the letters. In short, if we are writing in short, so we will make both of the letters capital, HI or AI. If we have complete word, so we will make the first letter capital. We learned today 2 punctuation marks, comma and capitalization, which you say capital letter. You may write down or note down whatever sentences to have an idea from board. Okay? So you have to make sentences. If I say you practice, you would be writing sentences on the rough. So practice means you have to write sentences, you have to make up sentences on your notebook. Be careful while writing sentences of 2 individual topics. Don't forget to use contrasting pen, any colored, blue colored except yellow, green and red. You may use any color pencil or marker to highlight the punctuation marks in the sentences.